coming back to the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by your guest, Thomas F. Chappell Jr. I'm here with my special guest, Chrstine Harrison. We was talking about, you accepting your wins. Now, I'm gonna take you a little further back because you was talking about accepting your wins. Now, before we get into that, I'm gonna say I'm gonna have a party there because I bugged the hell out of you. I stayed in your behind.
Yes, you did. Yes.
So I could accept part of that victory there.
Yes.
But you said that you flipped 12 units and whatnot. Before you started flipping, were you in the investment clubs at that time, or you was doing it before you went to the investment clubs?
No, I was actually doing it before I went to the investment club.
Okay, just speak about that.
So how I actually got into the investment club, so I'm out here flipping, and I noticed that I needed to be around other like-minded people who were actually doing what it was that I was doing, getting in the rooms with these people, because I needed that motivation and just to be around people, because here I am talking to my friends and they're like, I don't want to hear it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand. So I had to start putting myself in those positions and getting in those rooms with other like-minded people.
Okay, so how many clubs did you end up going to?
Actually, just two. Yours and then also the Inland Empire.
Okay, so how did you find the Inland Empire?
A friend of a friend recommended. He had moved to Texas and he was also flipping, and he recommended the group because here I was so eager to be in these rooms that I was getting ready to pay, I believe it was like $10,000 to join a group. And I had already put down my deposit.
Wow.
I put down my deposit. And my friend said, well, let me call my friend and introduce you to him, and he could tell you about the group that he went to for free. So she connected us. He told me about the group, and I was sold when I went to the first meeting. I was definitely sold just to be in the room with other like-minded people.
And that's where I met you, and I done drove you crazy ever since then.
Yes. No doubt about it.
Well, see, the whole point of it is that, you go to the meetings, and majority of the meetings are white. No disrespect to the meetings. They white guests, white speakers, white hosts. So a lot of minorities don't feel like they have the right criteria and they don't belong.
Right.
So that was the point of me having my club. The two organizers that used to own the Inland Empire came to me and was like, well, Thomas, look, we want to start this meeting. We want to start this all-black club, but we feel funny, two white guys running it. And they asked me would I run it, and I wasn't thinking about a club at the time. I'm like, I didn't know what I had to offer. But before I can say no, yes came out my mouth, and come next month, the club would be 4 years old.
Wow,
and I have over 2,700 members and counting. The club grows every day. But the whole thing of it was the club was created to give minorities a platform to showcase their talent, working with people that look like them, walk like them, and talk like them. Now, knowing that there's a lot of ethnicity organizations out there, but they don't do what they say they're going to do. So basically, we don't stay. We say, oh, they not for real. They just joking around. And the other clubs, they want all this money. And on that, saying that you was ready to put aside, $10,000 to go to this meeting and be a part of it. May I ask, what meeting was it?
I do not know. They used to have those free seminars, and they
Fortune Builders?
Yes, I believe so. They get you in there with that free information, and they give you just enough. So I knew what it was that I was doing, but I just needed that extra. So yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I did go to Fortune Builders. It's not a 2-hour free seminar. It's actually a half hour, but they giving you that 2 hours, that extra hour and a half window for you to decide whether or not you're going to go to the 3-day. And then once you get to the 3-day, it's $200. And then once you get to the 3-day, then they say, okay, it's $25,000, $45,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for you to come to our system. And then they say it's going to take you about 6 months. You get to meet Dan Merrill. And I'm no disrespect. I appreciate the hustle, but mama didn't raise no fool. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people get jilted by these so-called gurus and don't learn anything. And that's the purpose of a lot of these real estate investment clubs. They're like-minded people that's coming together, meeting other minds, helping each other out, finding deals, working with each other, the whole 9 yards. They're not asking for a whole bushel of money. They just saying, hey, $20 for the venue. You know what I'm saying? You get some water, maybe a cup of coffee. You know, some of the meets, like the Inland Empire, when the guys had it, they were giving you food. They were
phenomenal.
Spoiling you. They spoiled the heck out of a lot of people. But, you know, you got some value out of it, and all it cost you was time and driving space. That's pretty much it. $20 and that was it. And you got a whole lot of information, and you got opportunities to find people that you can work with. You found money. You know, you found partners. You found appraisal people. You found escrow people, contractors. You find all these people right at your fingertips instead of paying some so-called guru that's going to give you a taste and want to dig more into your pocketbook and put you more in debt, to where now you go back to your 8 to 5 begging them to give you more hours because you got to pay all this debt back. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people are not to the point where they feel comfortable enough to take that opportunity and say, you know what, I'm going to sell my house, turn the money that I get into my house, from my house, and turn it into an opportunity where I can do this on a regular basis. A lot of people are not doing that. And that's what people need to understand and hear, why I bring people on like you to say, hey, it doesn't take a lot. You said you started and you had no clue what you were doing.
None.
You had no clue. You already had 2 of your family members that passed away. And it's like, what am I going to do in my space? You know what I'm saying? They passed away at a young age, and I don't know where. I'm the oldest. I got to bring some value to my younger siblings to say, hey, you could have a better life as well. You know? So that's is really amazing on that. So going back to the investment club, you know, and going back to the fact is, after you start doing that, how many more did you flip after that?
After the investment club, let's say when I first started, I think I was on flip 5. So after attending the investment club, I ended up flipping a total of 7 more. I met my hard money lender there. I did my first off-market deal just with the connections that I made at the investment club. There was a time, I remember, it was called Let's Make a Deal, or We'll Go Over Your Deal.
Yes.
And I remember I had this deal. It was my first off-market deal. And I got up and I presented the deal to the group. And there was one person in the group that got up and said, excuse my French, that's a shitty deal. And I was just like, I was so nervous. And I was just like, okay, like, is it? But I stood firm on it. And I said, despite what he says, I'm still going to go with this deal. And that ended up being one of my biggest deals. Okay. I like that. So the real estate clubs did bring value to you. Yes.
Now, how many partners did you find at these clubs? I
want to say I found 2 partners, two that I've actually worked with.
And how did those work out?
They worked out good. You know, I have a lot of trust issues. Especially when it comes to business. So I had to...
Don't I know that, but keep going.
I had to get over that. So it actually worked out pretty well. We still communicate now, and we still network with each other.
Well, I can tell you getting... Well, I'm not going to say you got over all your trust, but you got enough over your trust to deal with me, because you wouldn't be sitting here today if I had never kept bugging you.
Yes, you definitely stayed on me.
Yes, that's the kind of guy I am, you know. I appreciate that. I'm going to take all the kudos from that. So, and all that, if you look back over your life, would you do this again?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Wow.
I used to always say when I did my first flip after selling my house, I was like, I'm not going to do this again. And then I did the third one, and I was like, I'm not going to do this again. I kept saying it, and then I looked up, and I'm 12 houses in. So I would definitely do it. The experience that I've learned from the process and the knowledge, definitely well worth it.
So you're saying that your innermost child will be pleased at what you became.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay,
Most definitely.
good. So now that we did the houses and whatnot, where are you in your life now?
So after doing my last investment, I kind of took a break. I just sold my last property in May. So I kind of been on a break. But in the midst of that, I end up opening up a venue, which is called Venue 38. It's an event space. The reason why it's called Venue 38 is because at the time that I established it, I was 38. So
Okay.
it's located here in Redlands, California. It's 2,400 square feet. I literally had to redo everything from flooring to paint to the design, the interior design, but I've learned all this from my flipping.
So, in other words, and from what I'm hearing, instead of you flipping, you should have been an interior design person.
Well, that's really not my specialty. It's really not my specialty, but yes.
But I mean, taking it from that point, and it's a very amazing. So, here's a question I would like to put out there, especially from a woman's perspective. What would you tell a woman out there right now that's in that position that you were in? What would you tell a woman right now that would make her want to do what you did?
Anything is possible. Anything. If you believe in yourself, I believed in myself. I bet on myself. I didn't let nobody stop me. I didn't let nobody talk me out of what it was that I wanted to do. I was focused and I had my eye on the prize.
Now, with all that, did you have any of your family members help out, friends help out, or did you just get people in the field like contractors and things like that?
I just had people in the field. Actually, the initial person that was kind of helping me in my flips was a family friend. He kind of got me started. He would help me with repairs and things like that. But for the most part, family just supported me with motivation because nobody had ever flipped a home. So they really didn't
understand.
Yes, they didn't understand.
So coming outside their comfort zone, outside their box, they really kind of stayed back because they wasn't sure if they was going to be doing it right.
Right.
Okay. So now, not just speaking to women, but also speaking to a lot of people, is that it's hard when you don't think that if it's possible, and a lot of people don't, especially us. We kill ourselves because we don't think that we can do this. We don't think that we have what it takes, and little do we know, if we truly believe in ourselves, we can do this. Just like with myself, when I came into it, I started doing this in my late 40s. Now, just like most people, I went to school, but I didn't finish. You know what I'm saying? I went to college, I didn't finish. I was playing sports, football was my thing. And I was looking at, that was my ticket to supposed to get out and, getting injured and then chasing women and having kids. And I went and did like everybody else, got an 8 to 5. And I knew that there was more in me that was ready to come out, but I just didn't know how to bring it out. So I didn't have no mentors at that time, or I didn't have that kind of support at that time to say you can do something different. So I just went on, and when I got to my late 40s after, being a single dad and raising my son, I said I didn't want him to be a statistic. I didn't want him to be like me, so let me do something different. And then I ended up moving to California, and then turn around, I ran into the owners of the club, and that's how my life just got started. We're going to stop here, take another commercial break, and we'll be back more with our guests. Thank you for listening to The Real Men of Real Estate.